You're welcome to another lesson of Know Your CRM 2016. And today we will be dealing with managed service cases in CRM 2016. This particular lesson is focused on the part of the MB2-700 certification about managing service cases. And I would like to quickly point out that though MB2-700 certification is actually based on CRM 2013. But in this lesson, um, I will be taking you through that using CRM 2016. So it's still the same thing anyway. So without much ado, we go straight into the um, content of today. So in today's lesson, we will be dealing with how to identify customer service entities and record types. If you remember, we actually treated what an entity is, what a record is in the last lesson. So to in this particular lesson, we will identify a case, entity, account, contact, activities, knowledge base articles, contract, queues, product, and goals. Now, all these are actually entities that you can find from the service model, or let me say, they are entities that are related to to the customer service work area. So, um, we will start by identifying the case entity, and we'll quickly talk about what it does, what you use it for. So this is CRM 2016. So now talking about cases. Now you will find case primarily from the model or from the work area service. So how do you get a service? You click on this, and then that gives you a drop down, and you can see service here. So you click on that and you will see another drop down of all of what you have access to. So, and from service you can see the case. So we click on that and you can see the list of cases. So now case entity is what you use to actually record cases or complaints from customers. So now here we have, what you can see is my active cases. This is a view. You have set of views associated with every entity. So if I click on the drop down, you see all the system views. So system views are what came out of the box with the system with Microsoft Dynamics. You can change that to say active cases, or you can say all cases, depending on what you're looking for, and you can as well create your personal view. So, and we can open up a case. So when you open up a case, this is pretty much what you're going to see. Okay, so now we're done with case. We're going to go for the next one, which is about account. So what is an account? So let me quickly go back to the home page. Now, account is an entity that actually stores the records for your customer. So we can get to account from sales, as you can see here, from service, or from marketing. So because we are actually dealing with the service, the customer service, so let's come to account from here. So you click on account, so you can as well open that up, and that will give you access to the particular record that you are actually interested in. So the next one is the contact. Now contact is just is an entity that actually stores record about a person. From service, let's click on contact, and you will have a list of contacts. So you can open up one, and this gives you, like I'm trying to open up a record for Jim, for instance. So this gives you the information about a particular person, which is Jim. And I would like to quickly talk about the relationship between account and contact. Now, account, like I said earlier, is just a record about a company or a customer. Now, if you quickly go back to account, so and that you will see the primary contact here. And the good thing about navigation in Microsoft Dynamics CRM is that from wherever you are, you can easily navigate to another record of interest. So if we're looking at the primary contact, it you can see that is a link. So once you click on that, it takes you to the record of a contact. So this shows the record of a contact called Ren. And you can see the account name. So which means I can as well go back to where I came from, which is the account. So that is the relationship between account and contact. So back to contact, we're going to use Ren as an example. Now, contact actually has, we're going to talk about contact activities. Now, if we're talking about activities, activity is a particular action or set of actions that a user can perform. So this is more like a way for Microsoft Dynamics to actually track some of the actions or tasks that you perform for a particular record that is kind of like associated to a particular record. So I can say, well, maybe I can create a phone call. Maybe this particular contact actually calls a company, so we can record that in here as an activity. Or maybe we want to set a particular task to say, okay, maybe we want to remember to actually send this to send Ren an email. We can set that as a task. And you can see that there are also tasks, activities that one can create, email or appointment. So the next one is our knowledge base articles. So we can get there from service, and then under collateral we see the articles. So the next one is going to be the contract. So contract is more like, from the name contract is self-explanatory. Is basically more like, an agreement between your client and your company. So you can set up contract in Microsoft Dynamics as well, and you can get to contract from service and contract. So the next one is going to be the queues. So you can get to queues from service module, or work area as well. You can see the queues. The next one is the product. So you can get to product from service module, from service work area, and you can see the product. So and then the last entity is going to be goals. You can identify goals by going through service model as well. Or a goal is more like a measurement of what you're trying to achieve. Like it's more like you're setting up a metric. And in Microsoft Dynamics CRM, a goal, when you're creating a goal, you must, before you can create a goal, you must have set up what is called goal metric. So let's go to all active goals. If I open up a particular one that I just created, now for the goal metric, which is number of cases, we click on this. Remember again, every link there will take you to another record. So if I click on this, it opens up the goal metric called number of cases. And in there, you will see what has been under the roll up fields. You will see that we have just one roll up, which is called actual. So, which means, there is something under roll up. When it comes to roll up, you can define your roll up for actual or for in progress. So the actual is more like the actual value that you're trying to measure your goal with, so based on the target. So now for this, if we open up this, you will see that this particular if I bring this down for clarity, so this particular goal metric is being configured based on this roll up field. So roll up is more like a way of trying to define your goal metric that your goal depends on. So now, yeah, we're trying to say that, well, we are only interested in resolved. So your source record type is meant to be resolved. And you can see that what actually when it comes to the roll up is now going to be based on the date it was modified on. So the summary of this roll up field is that the goal metric is based on resolved case. So which means that our goal, which depends on this goal metric, will give me all the resolved cases. And goal owner is another thing that we have that is very important when creating a goal. Goal owner is the user, the CRM user that the goal depends on. So now I put the goal owner to be CRM admin, which is actually myself. So which means this goal is actually for me. And just like I said the other time, it's not really about the name. The name doesn't really define. The name is just a user-friendly um, text, so that I'm merely looking at the goal. You can get to know what the goal is all about. I can change it to CRM admin resolved goals, because it actually applies to CRM admin. So what that means is the target we are the goal we are setting for CRM admin is that, well, within this period of this date to that date, based on the fact that we're using custom period. If you're using fiscal period, it's going to be based on the fiscal year. So based on this goal, which is like, so what we're saying is that my goal is to actually make sure that I resolve at least 30 cases within this period. Now, talking about child goals. Child goals are, is still the same thing as goals, but you now have more like an hierarchy whereby you can relate created goals to this particular goal. The advantage of that is if you are in a department where you have a manager, and then you have, say, other employees that are actually under the manager, you can have a goal, just one goal for the whole department, whereby the owner will be the manager, and then you now have the child goals to be the goal for each person or each employee in that department. So, and the last that I'm going to talk about is going to be the roll-up query. Now, the roll-up query is what you can use to do an extensive, breakdown or criteria, so to say, or restriction to your goal. Maybe you want your goal to actually, like the example we have here, which is actually for revenue. Maybe we want our goal to be based on, because if we actually open up the revenue is based on two roll-up fields, the actual and the in progress, and you can see that the source entity is opportunity. So it's actually based on opportunity, and we actually talked about opportunity in the last video. So maybe we want the goal to be based on opportunities for a particular location. You cannot use goal metric to actually define that, but in your roll up query you can specify that. So the roll up query is where you can set up a query to say, well, I am interested in opportunities for a particular location, and that actually wraps up everything about goals. And I want to quickly highlight that you know everything we've talked about is pretty much what you should be expecting in when you're sitting for your exam, your MB2-700, 700, sorry. And this actually covers 15 to 20% of your whole question, as in what we've treated today. So thank you for your time, and stay tuned for the next lesson, which is going to be based on create service cases. Thank you, and please subscribe. Bye bye.